Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our FC26 career mode here with Burnley. We're back today with another big episode after a more favourable run of fixtures last time out. We've got big games coming today, including AC Milan away from home in the Champions League. We'll take on Liverpool and Aston Villa at home and also travel to the Etihad in the Premier League. And we also have the League Cup fourth round tie against Accrington Stanley, which should be a routine victory for the backup brigade. But it is away in Milan where we kick off today. We're currently 2 wins from 2 in the Champions League without conceding a goal so far, but this will certainly be a tougher test as we head to Milan. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, for me, this is our first, real Champions League test. No disrespect to Bodo Glimt and Dinamo Zagreb, but AC Milan away at the San Siro. Yes, I know in the game we obviously don't have the licensing and it's not quite the San Siro, but still, we're going to play on it for the dramatisation. And this is a real test here as Gabriel Peck look to roll it through, and I have a feeling this game could be pretty open. With Milan in a back 3 system, there's going to be chances at either end. Jimenez for Milan runs into Florentino, who's still in midfield for us. We discussed at the end of the previous episode with Baleba down injured at the moment. It is going to be Florentino. In there is Gabriel Peck. Oh, he took it on early, but the keeper came out to close down the angle, and Gabriel Peck, who scored 2 on match day 1 at home to Zagreb, gets his 3rd goal of the Champions League campaign and sets us on our way here at the San Siro. What a brilliant finish by the Brazilian. Yeah, to be honest, I think when he sees that back on the replay, Marcin Bulka is going to want that one back. Didn't really cover himself in much glory. Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. But I said it when we defeated Real Madrid in the Super Cup. I said, yes, it's only a glorified friendly, but this is an example of what you can expect from Burnley in the Champions League this year. And as Nuno Mendes lifts the ball into Jorgen, oh, he tried it again, like he did against Bodo Glimt in match day 2. Penalised for a foul, but we look dangerous in those wide areas. Yeah, we've looked pretty solid in the Champions League so far, and although this is a tougher test against Milan, again, they haven't really caused us too many issues, as that's beautifully worked, and Morgan Rogers added a little bit of skill. Was a bit unnecessary, but he's had a fantastic start to his Burnley career. Gets his first goal in the Champions League. And again, that quick, incisive passing against the back 3 of Milan is causing them some serious issues. Well, you know what, guys? We've actually been pretty comfortable out there today. And as Ben Ball wins it back, that is going to do it. It's another clean sheet in the Champions League. That is 3 games in a row without conceding. And I thought this was going to be one of our tougher tests, but in the end, we came through it unscathed. A comfortable win on the road. And this Burnley team, we may not have the experience, but we've certainly got the quality and the togetherness to get the job done in the Champions League this year. A fantastic win that makes it 3 wins from 3 in the Champions League, and the perfect result heading into a massive clash in the Premier League on the weekend. Last year's champions at home at Turf Moor as we take on Liverpool. I think they will likely be up there again this season alongside ourselves, Manchester City, Arsenal and probably Newcastle, but Liverpool for me are the ones to really keep an eye out for. Massive clash early on in the season as we take on the Reds at Turf Moor. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, huge couple of games coming up in the league. It's Liverpool and then Manchester City with the League Cup fourth round sandwiched in between. But I always say it when we face Liverpool, I struggle to break them down so much. Their back 4 is so strong. But looking at their lineup for today, definitely down our left-hand side is where I think we will have most joy. Calvin Ramsey at right back, no disrespect to him, but definitely the weak spot. in this Liverpool backline, because when you come inside, you get met with Eder Militao and William Saliba, and Kirkes down the other side is another player I have a lot of trouble playing against. So I'm going to be focusing a lot of my attacks down this right-hand side, looking to get at Calvin Ramsey, but expecting a really tough game against the Reds. Florentino into Alex Scott. Offloads to Nuno Mendes. Wirtz can't get there, and now Jadon has a chance. Up against Ramsey. Gravenberch comes across to help him out. Still looking for his first goal. Jadon Philogene with an absolute rocket. And we gave him a new contract at the end of the previous episode. But I said to him when we sat down with he and his agent, I need to start seeing some performances from you. And he has saved it for the biggest occasion. Cuts inside past Ramsey, who we discussed in those opening 10 minutes, and fires it past Mamardashvili to give us the lead. That's a big goal, and a win here will see us move 8 points clear of last year's champions, even so early on in the season. That is a huge gap. Wirtz looks to get away from Nuno Mendes, and Wirtz finds Isak. And out to Gravenberch on the edge. Really patientness from Liverpool. And Wirtz has it again. Gravenberch in space. Onto his right foot. Now the left. Now Isak. And there's the equalising goal. How patient was that from Liverpool? Couldn't get the ball off them. And then number 9 fires them back on level terms. Yeah, the game has sort of reverted back to how the game here last year was, where Liverpool just had us penned and we couldn't really get out. But here goes Marcus Edwards onto that left peg, opens up for Edwards, and it wasn't quite in the corner as Mamardashvili makes the save. But yeah, I think this is going to be the pattern of the second half. Liverpool having a lot of the ball and Burnley playing on the break. Oh, ball slid through. Victor Gyökeres in behind. Victor Gyökeres, what a save, Trafford. Timed that really well when he came out and closed down the Swede. Yeah, I think this is pretty much going to do it. It was around this time Liverpool won the spot kick here last season, that pretty much won them the league title, as Wirtz is sent back, and there is the full-time whistle. It's a 1-1 draw here at Turf Moor, and that's a decent result, you know. I wasn't very happy with the draw against Coventry and our loss against Bournemouth. They're the only 2 blemishes on our record this season, but that's a decent point against Liverpool, especially as they have had the better of us over recent seasons, and we keep the gap at 5 points to Vincent Kompany's men as we reach match day 10 of the season. Or was this match day 9? Yeah, match day 9. But yeah, match day 10 sees us take on Manchester City away at the Etihad. Another huge clash. But before we get there, it is the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, looking to defend our trophy, which we defeated Liverpool in the final at Wembley last season. But a much easier tie here in the 4th round as we take on Accrington Stanley, looking to reach the 5th round of the Cup. Come on, you Clarets. Oh, given away to Zeki and Leslie. And Benzai, was he onside? Benzai opens the scoring with a wonderful strike. And it's his first senior goal of his career. Comes in the League Cup. I believe similarly to Damien Burke, who also got his first goal in this competition last year. And we've got another serious talent on our hands. The issue is getting them all into the team, with Benzai, Bull and Burke, the triple Bs, trying to fit all of them into the team. They're having to do their damage in the cups at the moment, but tell you what, you definitely want to keep an eye on these kids in the future, because they have got the world at their feet. Accrington coming forward here, nicely worked. Oh, we don't concede many, but we're going to concede here, as Accrington Stanley of League 2 get themselves back on level terms. Well, that was not part of the script. That's Uzi through the gap for Benzai. Zeki back to Benzai. Banzuzi and Zeki. It's a lovely build-up and Burnley restore their lead. You felt like it would be just a matter of time, and Zeki gets his second in the competition to get us back in front. Brass able to bring the ball over halfway. Nice football that. Really nice one-touch football. Burke into Benzai. Oh, lovely skill from Benzai. And it's a brace for the Tunisian midfielder. It's a wonderful little goal. One-touch passing and the little skill move to get him inside. And now we have our 2-goal cushion, and it is a long way back for Accrington Stanley from here. Wonderful goal from the kid. Yeah, this might be the real coming-of-age game for Benzai, as he's gone through the middle again. He wants his hat-trick. Benzai, lovely skill, and he bends home his third, and that is a wonderful third goal from the kid. A lovely piece of composure, and he gets his hat-trick. Not only did he get his first senior goal, not only did he get his second to make it a brace, but he's gone on to make it a hat-trick in style as well, as he cuts inside the last defender. This kid is a serious talent, and he's got a hat-trick to prove it here in the League Cup. Yep, there is the whistle here at Turf Moor, and I think that is the breakout performance from the Tunisian Ferhat Benzai. A hat-trick today, only took him 3 attempts as well, 100% shooting ratio today, and he was absolutely phenomenal. He's had some minutes so far this season, but I think in this competition he's got the opportunity to really make a name for himself. Pretty comfortable progression through, and let's go and find out who we're going to face in the next round. Well, as we get back to the menu, some good news as we see Amari Hutchinson returning from his injury, but we'll have to kind of ease him in slowly. But as we see how close it is at the top of the Premier League with ourselves, Man City, Arsenal and Newcastle and Liverpool all in the title race once again, but in the League Cup quarter-finals, I think it is, we will be taking on Manchester United. So that'll be a tough game for the backup brigade, but I fancy our chances of getting through it, as we've got a good record against the Reds throughout the course of the save. And I'm pretty sure Port Vale played Manchester City. Yeah, they did. And they beat them by 3-1 at Vale Park. What a result for the League Two side. But you'd expect it would probably be Chelsea, one of ourselves and United, Liverpool, and one of Spurs or Aston Villa making it into the Final Four. But as we hunt down that trophy defence, we will take on the Red Devils. And speaking of Manchester, it's Manchester City up next as we travel to the Etihad. We're both level on points in the Premier League with identical records. Pretty similar goal difference as well, and we've both had really good starts to the season. Both chasing down Arsenal, who currently sit a point above us, but I think we could be in for another really closely run title race this season. Another huge early season clash against one of our title rivals as we take on City away at the Etihad. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, familiar face in that back line for Manchester City as Tommy Beelan does start for the Sky Blues. Savinho goes down the left-hand side, swings it to the edge of the box, and Haaland on the spin gets his shot away, and it will drop behind for a corner as City putting on the early pressure here at the Etihad. Corner goes short to Foden, cleared at the near post, but again we can't get it fully away. Not Beelan, someone tackle him as Haaland's shot is blocked, and it's been a little bit loose at the back so far as Scott will now get his foot on the ball, but Man City flying out of the blocks. Yeah, corner for Burnley here. City been on top, but maybe a chance for us from the set piece. Maxime Estev's header off the woodwork. Reinders into Haaland. Savinho on the move. Jackson didn't stay with him, and Savinho opens the scoring right on the stroke at half time. It's a brilliant move between Erling Haaland and the Brazilian, but Jackson just switched off just before the break, didn't stay with his man, and Man City have the breakthrough. Well, I'm making my move, and that includes Amari Hutchinson coming on as he returns from injury. Damien Burke and Hannibal also brought on in what is quite an attacking change, but a win here for City would be huge and a loss for us would be absolutely devastating. Oh, Burke pinches it. And now Mendes finds Rodgers. And Mendes. And Amari Hutchinson. And Amari again. Oh, it's wide. And there was his chance. And he's maybe just a little bit rusty, having not really played much over the last couple of months. But that is probably the best chance we're going to get. Well, maybe still time for us here. As Baleba finds Burke and Amari. He's onside. Amari. Oh, it's off the woodwork. And we did get one more chance. And it fell to the man you'd want it to fall to. And he nearly beat Donnarumma. And now City might seal it with Foden finding Reinders. And it's straight at James Trafford. But it's too little too late. As there is the whistle at the Etihad. Amari Hutchinson so close to finding the goal. But it's going to be Manchester City who claim all 3 points in a massive, massive title clash so early on in the season. Disappointing result, but we could easily have snatched a point today. And we've just got to pick ourselves up and go again. We've had some tough games. And as we head into our next one, Match day 4 of the Champions League. Already 3 wins on the board, and taking on the Belgian side USG away from home, we have a great opportunity to make it 4 wins from 4 and all but cement ourselves a spot at least in the playoffs for the knockout rounds. Let's go and get the win away in Belgium. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, looking to return to winning ways here after that defeat to Manchester City. And USG are another one of those teams, a bit like Bodo Glimt, that are starting to make a bit of a name for themselves in European football. So expecting a tough game, and so far in the early stages, it has been pretty hard to create anything. As Burke sent through, beautifully done, angles tight, and it hits the keeper square in the face. I'm not sure how much he knew about that. But USG will clear as we're still waiting for that opening goal. But desperate to get back to winning ways today after that defeat in Manchester. Oh, given away to Zeki. And Gabriel making the run. He's been in fine form in the Champions League. And he prods it past the keeper to score his 4th goal in as many games in this competition. He has been fantastic solely in the Champions League this season. It's a poor giveaway from USG, but Zeki, who gets the nod today, does well. And Gabriel just pokes it past the keeper into that bottom corner. Yuri intercepts and finds Gabriel Peck. And there's Zeki through the gap for Damien Burke. Beautifully done, and it's a crisp finish from Damien. And he is really starting to turn into a superstar. That's a wonderful strike from the young Irishman. Past the keeper in a flash, and we double our lead here in Belgium. Zeki, the assist leader in the Europa League last year, proving that he's still got it this year in the Champions League with 2 brilliant assists. But how about the strike from Damien? Well, we've been pretty comfortable in this second half, but USG looking to get back into this. Nice turn, strike comes in, and it's a wonderful goal. And with just under 15 minutes to play, the hosts half the deficit. Game on again. I'll be really disappointed if we throw this away, but I'm still feeling pretty confident. And as Damien Burke rolls in the 3rd, I'm starting to feel when I get in front of goal with Damien that every shot is going to hit the back of the net. He had a brilliant breakout season last year, but he is really elevating his game this campaign. It's just so difficult to get everyone into the starting lineup because we have got so much quality. Yep, that is going to do it here in Belgium. And we couldn't keep the clean sheet today. It is the first goal we've conceded in the Champions League, but 4 wins from 4. 3 of those 4 have been the fixtures that I picked out as being winnable when the league phase was drawn. So we've got some tougher tests to come, no doubt about it. But we've already done a lot of the work to get us qualified for the knockout stages. And Damien Burke in particular was on absolute flames tonight. Right, let's jump into our next game. Another really tough one in the Premier League as we take on Aston Villa. They sat right at the top of the table alongside ourselves, City, Arsenal and Newcastle, and looking to keep themselves in a title race once again this season. They've been in and around it throughout the course of the saves so far, but have generally tended to fall off towards the end of the season. But I'm expecting a really tough game here at Turf Moor against a strong Villa side. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, if you guys remember, both of our games last season against Villa, both home and away, ended 0-0. So I'm hoping for some goals today, hopefully for us. And we have struggled a little bit in front of goal. We've not really been free-flowing, I wouldn't say. But as Nuno Mendes bursts away down the right-hand side, and Nuno comes infield brilliantly, and Martinez makes a great stop to deny him, as Hannibal with a lovely little flick. And Hannibal gets it back, and Hannibal shoots, it's deflected and in. And we do have a goal at last between these two sides, and it's Hannibal's first of the campaign. He's been struck with injury to kick off the new season, but he's back now and he gets his first goal. And he started it off with a lovely flick, but he gets massively lucky with the deflection that takes it past Emi Martinez. But we'll take that all day long. Yeah, I do feel like Villa are more one of those teams that will be like on the periphery, and they'll probably kind of fall away. They've been in Europe for, I think, the last 3 years in the save. So, oh, it's lovely football, and Dobbin will level it up for the Villains. But yeah, I do expect that they will probably fall away in this title race. I think if anyone's going to get themselves into it, it's going to be Liverpool and the 4 teams at the top, ourselves, City, Newcastle and Arsenal. But they're proving here that they're not going to lie down. Labour forward to Jorgen, who's on a little mini goal drought at the moment, as Jackson does well, looks for Rodgers, well defended in the middle, but it's coming back at Villa with Alex Scott, and Rodgers, former Villa man. Labour does well, and Scott keeps hold of the ball, and round the corner by Jorgen, and Alex Scott, was he onside? No, the flag goes up to deny him. Onana into Yuri Tielemans, and Onana spreads it wide, but Nuno Mendes does well. And Jorgen collects the loose ball, and now Nuno Mendes down the left-hand side can escape. And Nuno finds Hannibal on the weaker left peg. He's put it wide. Labour does well, pinches it. And Gabriel sent through. Gabriel restores the lead right on the stroke of half-time, and it's been coming as well. We had Alex Scott's disallowed goal. Hannibal should have scored as well. And Gabriel Peck, who's been Mr. Champions League, gets his first goal in the Premier League so far this season to get us back in front. Tielemans gets his pass off to Donyell Marlon. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. Twice that is so unfortunate. The first time it comes back to Donyell Marlon, and he hits the crossbar, and then the rebound just falls straight back to the Dutchman. And Villa, for the second time today, fighting back from a goal down. I do feel like we've been the better team today. It's just a matter of whether we can get ourselves in front. There's Damien Burke again. Jorgen in the middle, and he pokes it past Emi Martinez. And he ends his goal drought. This has been an absolute thriller here at Turf Moor. And I think that is his first goal in, what is it, 4 or 5 games now maybe? He certainly needed that. And he just gets there before the Argentine to poke us in front once again. Well, this is the final chance for Villa in what has been a crazy game. Jackson doesn't get there. Uche finds Louis Barry, crosses blocked, and Trafford's come a long way and claims. And that will do it here at Turf Moor. What an absolute cracker of a game. And after 2 0-0 draws in a row against Aston Villa, well, we had the complete opposite today. It was end-to-end. There was goals galore. And Burnley just edge out a 5-goal thriller by 3-2 here at Turf Moor. I mentioned it, I think Villa will probably be on the periphery of any sort of title race this season, and I think we've proved that here with the victory. But for us, we keep marching on, and as we close out the episode away on Merseyside against Everton, where we actually lost by a 1-0 last season, I'm hoping we can continue what has been a really good run of form and close out the episode with a victory. Come on, you Clarets. Tell you what, guys, this Everton team is absolutely fantastic on paper. Great front three. Midfield three is really strong as well. And defensively, they got some great players in there as Tierno Barry opens the scoring 3 minutes in here at the Hill Dickinson. Scored the winner against me on this ground last season and now opens the scoring here once again. This Everton team is solid, you know. Yeah, we got some work to do if we want to get back into this. Still, of course, a long way to go as Rodgers finds Jorgen, and Jorgen off the post. Yeah, I think you could make a claim for Everton being another bogey team. Not quite as bad as Iraola's Bournemouth, but I don't think we're with a win here at the Hill Dickinson. Oh, that was so lucky. We're without a win at the Hill Dickinson, perhaps throughout the course of the save. I think, oh no, we maybe won here back in Season 1, but Season 2 was a 0-0 draw. Season 3 we lost by 3-1. And last year we lost by 1-0. So really struggle against Everton, especially here on Merseyside, as Baleba finds Damien Burke, and that is inches away from the Irishman getting us back on level terms. Now it's Jorgen and Burke and Morgan. Oh, strong challenge, and Morgan hits the deck. And we have seen a lot more injuries this season, and that could be another one to Morgan Rodgers. It was a heavy challenge. He did win the ball, but Morgan did stay down for a period of time there. He is now back to his feet, but Everton played on and are now looking for a second goal before the break. Come on, we've still got plenty of time to get back into this, but we've got to get a move on as Burke waits for Amari Hutchinson, and he's back on the score sheet for Burnley. It's his first goal of the season, having gone down with that injury early on in the campaign, but it is so good to have Amari back. And we're back on level terms here, but I want all 3 points. Let's see if we can complete the turnaround. Well, that is going to do it, guys, and we couldn't find a winner in that second half. It was pretty open, but neither side were able to carve out anything clear-cut, and the spoils will be shared at the Hill Dickinson, a ground we've not won on since Season 1 of the Save. We really struggle on our visits here throughout the course of the save, but not the result I wanted to close out with, guys, but that is where we will leave it for today. It's been a pretty productive episode where we've had big games in the Premier League against the likes of Liverpool, City and Villa, but also fantastic run of form in the Champions League, where we've now won 4 in a row to kick off the league phase of the Champions League. Through to the quarterfinals of the League Cup as well, and we've got a big episode next time out where I'm going to try and cram in all of our games in December and head through to the January window. I'll catch you for it very soon, guys. Take care and peace.